have a special guest, as we always do on the post-game show. This time it's our public address announcer, Jim Seybert. And Jim, first off, thanks for joining me.
You bet.
Pleasure having you.
My pleasure.
And, I mean, we're in the literal home stretch of this season.
We are.
And this is your what season with the Blues?
This will be my 5th season with an asterisk.
Yeah.
5 seasons, but only 4 that actually had games. Last year, obviously, we didn't have a season.
Yes, absolutely.
Been a Blues fan for probably 10 years, I would say, maybe 9 years. Adam, our general manager, I met him. We started talking about baseball at a Chamber of Commerce thing.
Yeah.
He gave me some tickets, put them in the mail, and sent them to me. And on our wedding anniversary one year, I took my wife to a Blues game, bought her a hot dog for our wedding anniversary, and so she was hooked and I was hooked, and I started doing the games, the PA 5 years ago. This is my 5th year. Yeah.
Terrific. What do you love most about PA? It's something that I've never done.
Yeah.
And you said that when you started doing it with the Blues, it was the first time you had ever done it. So in your years of doing it now, what do you like the most about it? And just talk to us about that.
It's hosting a huge party for people.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the host. I'm certainly not the most important thing. People come to watch baseball and hang out with their family, but I kind of tie it all together.
You do.
And that's kind of fun. They give me some leeway. They give me a pretty long leash. They let me tell some crazy jokes and and that type of thing. I try not to get too partisan. I'm a huge Blues fan, but I try not to. I don't say anything when umpires do bad calls and that, because I feel we'll leave that up to the fans.
Sure.
Try to stay professional at that. But it's completely different. I talk for a living. And in my other job, I'm in a little tiny isolated soundproof booth, and I read books to people. I do audiobooks.
Yeah.
So this is completely different because I've got all this stuff going on around me. I'm talking really loud. I'm shouting and that type of thing. And so it gives me a change of pace for a few weeks every summer.
So I wanted to ask you, this is something that ever really since I met you, I was just curious to know, at what point did you know that your voice was going to be your career, and that you were going to center yourself around voiceover work and now PA and narrating? When did you know that this was your life?
I don't know that a light bulb ever went on.
Sure.
And it said, Jim, be a voiceover and be on the radio. I just always gravitated to that kind of performing.
Okay.
Very early on, I listened to the radio ever since I was a little kid. I liked listening to the DJs, the music, but the DJs were what really got me interested in radio.
Sure.
And I had an opportunity to go to school to learn how to be a DJ, a broadcaster, and so that started. I was in my early 20s when that happened, and I would leave it for a while and then come back, and I would leave it for a while and then come back. And so I guess I've always used my voice in one way or another. In a lot of different jobs. I was a corporate marketing VP for a while, and the thing I liked most about that was the opportunity to get up in front of a group of people and sell them on an idea. And it wasn't so much the selling them on the idea, it was the being up in front of a bunch of people. I'm kind of at my best when I'm entertaining and being in front of people.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think some people might have a light bulb. Some people will take a while to figure out what they want to end up doing. But now, baseball.
Okay.
You're around the game, and you've been around it for so long. And I hear you talk about memories of who you like to listen to, your favorite teams, your favorite players.
Yeah.
What is it you love the most about baseball and getting to come to the ballpark and being around the sport all the time?
It's the only sport I understand.
Yeah.
Basketball, football. I watch football, and my wife's a huge football fan, and so we watch the football on the TV. There's a lot of times I can't even tell where the ball is.
Yeah.
And I know we went to a couple. She's a Bronco fan, so we went to a couple of games, and I wished I'd had the radio with me, so I could hear the play-by-play people explain to me what was going on.
Yeah.
But baseball, I mean, for the most part, I understand it, and to me, baseball is it's a true one-on-one sport. Tennis is another one-on-one sport. You know, you got one person that's going to throw a ball, another person's going to hit it, that another person's going to catch it. So it's all, yeah, there's teamwork, but I love the whole idea of the you know, it's individual performance really matters, you know, in baseball. And again, I understand it. It's a game that ever since I was a tiny kid growing up in San Francisco, my dad was a huge baseball fan. I remember when the Giants actually came to town in San Francisco, and they moved there from New York, and it was a big deal. And then when Candlestick Park opened, I was really disappointed. Dad took me to Candlestick Park the first the first season that they opened. That was 62, 60, somewhere in there. And I was really disappointed because I'd heard all about this Candlestick Park forever and ever and ever. I was disappointed because the lights were not candles. I just figured, you know, Candlestick Park, there would be candlesticks, and there weren't.
Yep.
So huge disappointment, you know, all downhill from there, you know.
Last question for you, and I'll let you go.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to kind of find your own, kind of be yourself on the air?
Oh.
It's something that young broadcasters can struggle with. They can kind of start, I feel like, at least I did, mimicking who you like to listen to, and you would kind of end up doing kind of a bad impersonation of your favorite announcer.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm a diehard Giants fan.
Yeah.
And so this team in LA that wears the blue, the dirty, nasty Dodgers, they had a play-by-play guy. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. His name is Vince Scully.
Yeah.
You know, okay. Of course you've heard of him. Everybody has. When I was going to broadcast school, I would get Vince Scully's the ad copy that he would read for Farmer John Hams.
Wow.
Because he did such a great job communicating that, and I would practice that into my little cassette recorder until I sounded, or thought I sounded, like Vince Scully.
Wow.
So, you know, in a way, he was kind of a you know, a mentor. You know, David Letterman was probably another one, and you and I have talked about this because of your connection with Indiana. Yep. Letterman's style, his self-deprecating style, his little wink, you know, how he would make fun of even his bosses at NBC and GE and all that just resonated with me. And I kind of bring some of that to to my PA work. You know, I'll tell silly little jokes, dad jokes almost, you know, and I try not to ever make fun of anybody in a way that's going to be hurtful, but I'll try to make fun of a situation or something like that.
Sure.
So, yeah.
That's terrific, Jim. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Finally, your daughter's watching. Say hi to them.
Hi. My daughter and my wife, I think, are watching. My daughter's in Colorado. My wife's just there in Roy Grande. So, hello. Dad will be home soon.
There you go. Thanks for joining me.
All right. Thanks.
Pleasure.
Take care.